Today we're on Chapter 1, Lesson 4, Multiplying and Dividing Integers. When we multiply a positive times a positive, we get a positive. When we multiply a negative times a positive, we get a negative. When we multiply a positive times a negative, we get a negative. And when we divide a negative by a negative, we get a positive. And I tried to show you different ways to write multiplication with the sign that looks kind of like an X, or with the dot, or sometimes with parentheses. And this fraction bar is just another way to write division. And if you're looking at the pattern, basically if the numbers have the same sign, the answer is positive. And if they have a different sign, the answer is negative. So let's do some quick examples. Negative 6 divided by 3, different signs. So the answer is going to be negative 2. And sometimes on ones with more than one digit, it's helpful just to take 2 at a time. So negative 4 times negative 2 would make positive 8. Then positive 8 times negative 3 makes negative 24. On the next one, we're going to need to do that top part first before we can divide by 5. So 29 plus a negative 44, negative 15, divided by 5. So negative 15 divided by 5 would be negative 3. And let's try another one like that. Again, you need to do the top part first. So we're putting negative 13 and negative 27 together. That would make negative 40. And negative 2 times negative 4 makes positive 8. And then negative 40 divided by 8 would be negative 5. Let's go over some extra examples on the guided practice. Number 1 says, a glacier recedes at a rate of 350 feet per day for 2 consecutive weeks. How much did the glacier's position change in all? Well, in all kind of sounds like we're adding, but since we're doing the same thing over and over again for 2 weeks, that's going to be multiplying. So it recedes means it goes backwards, which means it's negative. So negative 350 per day for 2 weeks. So there's 7 days in a week, and 2 weeks means times 2. 350 times 7 and then 2,450 times 2 and a negative times a positive makes a negative, and then a negative times a positive again would make another negative. So it's negative 4,900. Number 2, Marcus purchases 75 shares of stock. A year after purchasing the stock, the value of the stock is $2 less per share. Write a multiplication expression to determine the change in Marcus' investment. So we're just writing an expression. That means we're not actually solving it. So he purchased 75 shares. And a year after purchasing, the value of the stock is $2 less. So each one of those shares went down $2. So times -2. And that's it. Let's look at number 4. Helena spent $2 on a soda and $4.25 on snacks every day of her 2-week summer camp. How much did she spend on sodas and snacks while at summer camp? Okay, $2 on soda and $4.25 every day. And means we're going to need to put those together. So 2 plus 4.25. And I put that in parentheses because I know I need to do that first. And it says every day for 2 weeks. So every day times 2 weeks. And that we know is going to be 14. And 2 plus 4.25. Remember to line up the decimals. So 2 goes under the 4. So that's $6.25 every day times the 14. And then I need to move the decimal over 2 spaces. So this equals $87.50. Notice I didn't use any negatives on this one. It's because of how the question is worded. It asks how much did she spend, and that's how much she spent, $87.50. It didn't ask how much did it change. That might have been a negative 87. It asks how much did she spend, so we leave it as positive.